What happened to the game I love? I keep asking myself that question with each passing day when it comes to the video game industry. Every day it is something new, and today I think, like a lot of things, gamers are just being priced out of gaming. Similar to wrestling, similar to the entertainment industry, similar to basically everything. To be honest, I have no idea what's going to take before AAA studios figure out that it's going to get worse way before it gets better. Because gamers and consumers, we already know it. But it seems them up there, they either don't know or they just don't care. Let's talk about it. Before I get into it, allow me to introduce myself. Rad here, short for Redemption Arc Domino, but you can call me Arc. It's usually what I input in my create a character screen, so let's roll with it. Why not, I say. So, welcome to my first official original video. On this channel I will react, give updates to gaming, anime, crazy deals I find, just having fun making stupid shorts because I want to do lighthearted things. Right now I'm learning coding from boot.dev, not a sponsor FYI, maybe one day, who knows. I actually use Legendary Drops code for it, and so far I'm learning at a pace that I truly feel is welcoming and not too overwhelming, even though I will admit, as someone who's starting from scratch, it can feel overwhelming at first, but over time it gets a little easier. So thank you for stopping in today. So let me know what you think, any tips, etc. Leave in the comments, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about gaming and the crazy inflation going on right now. Let's start with the rising cost of gaming. First, we have game price hikes. I remember when I was a kid growing up, and I remember seeing games were $50. We are now in the era of the $80 games, which is crazy to think, which in hindsight is not that big of a jump. I mean, we're talking 20, 30 years, right? To only go up $30, it's not too bad. However, there's too many games coming out. And with all these AAA games coming out at $80 now in the next year or two, we're not going to be able to afford it. We just had another console price increase from Xbox, which has raised 2 times in 1 year. Obviously, there was some impact due to the tariffs, but that can attribute to the first one. And who knows if the second round is due to that or just more greed. What I can tell you, though, is that the new thing that sparked this video, the Xbox Game Pass price hike, 50% from $20 to $30, that is greed. That has nothing to do with tariffs or anything like that. These are digital copies. These are not physical copies. If it was physical, I could maybe see an argument, but digital, not so much. Right now, beyond Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, and Nintendo Switch Online, they all add up. It's crazy to think if you're one of those extreme gamers that has all 3 consoles or 2 consoles and a PC, gaming can be one hell of an expensive hobby. So it's crazy to think where we're at right now and how much it costs each month. If you take that into account, you have what? You have a new game. Say you buy one new game every season, that's $80. Plus you're paying now $30 for Xbox Game Pass. You're paying, if you bought a yearly subscription to PlayStation Plus, that was $160 right there. And then if you have Nintendo Online, that's another $50. So you're looking at literally between $3 to $5 right there already spent on gaming. Now, if you want to buy a new system, systems now go upwards of $500 for Switch, about $700 for PlayStation, and almost $900 now for a top-of-line Xbox. At that point, you just buy a PC. I just don't understand it. So it just gets to that point. All right. Next, let's talk about why are these costs rising? I mean, the cost to develop has gone up crazy in the last few years, going from your average game costing between 20 and 50 million to somewhere between 100 and 300 million dollars to develop. Small examples are Spider-Man 2 roughly cost about 315 million. Starfield was in a similar range. You heard about Concord, which somewhere was like 300-400 million. I mean, and these costs don't even include marketing. Marketing can be anywhere from 100 to 300 million on top of that. So these games, just to break even, need to sell somewhere and get in a range of 600 to 700 million just to make profit to use towards their next game. That is not sustainable. It's gonna end up gouging players even more, and that's where we're at. That's why games are now $80. That's why systems are the price that they are, because of this craziness. And you could look at it from hiring more, throwing money at the problem versus just trying to solve the problem. And it's crazy to think that. And I feel so bad as a gamer because it's not a hobby I can keep at this rate, and I hope it changes. So, where is this leading to? Well, it's leading to an industry crash, and the risk is getting there. It's high. Layoffs in 2023 and 2025 soar over somewhere between 20 to 50,000 in the gaming industry. Between flops like Concord or Redfall and studios failing and going under, it's sad. It's an unsustainable model right now. Gamers can't afford it, and the industry just keeps throwing money at it. And now we're at a point where you also have consumer backlash. Gamers are adapting. They're pivoting to indies, free-to-play titles. They're limiting AAA purchases. I mean, at a certain point, as someone on top, you got to figure something's got to change. And whether it's putting the right people in charge or just figuring out what you need to do to make the game industry more successful. Everyone saw the great boom during COVID and thought, hey, we're going to make bank off this. And it's not happened. It's been 5 years, and more gaming industries have went under as much as the ones that have cropped up over the last few years. And that's saying something. You've seen stocks drop crazy numbers. And even then, you saw a crazy buyout recently of $55 billion for EA, one of the biggest gaming companies in the industry, to the Saudis. And the first thing I thought of was when I heard that was not anything about on the outside, but just that's it. Like only 55 billion, and it makes me realize, like, with all the failures in the last few years and how much money they lost and how much their stock dropped, it gave rise to being cannibalized for 55 billion. Sorry about that. But if you think about it, why? EA has so many IPs that could have been making them money, and instead they banked on a few, and a lot of them had consumer backlash for whatever reason, just poor management, and just did not work out, trying to nickel and dime and microtransaction every bit and aspect of a game, and it's just not working. Now let's compare nostalgia to reality. It's crazy to think about where gaming is today. I remember as a kid playing Super Nintendo with not a care in the world, mainly because I didn't know the cost of gaming, from the system to the controller to the games themselves. I mean, I was totally clueless. wasn't until I got my first job and wanted to buy my first game with my own money that I ever learned the expensive cost of what a game really is, or just having this hobby. Heck, I remember the first time I walked into a Toys R Us, and when I was in college, and I looked around, and I was blown away by the cost of everything, from gaming to the toys to anything in there. I mean, the first thing I did was I called my mom when I got out and was like, thank you. Not that I didn't say thank you when I got the toys or games when I was a kid, but it just, it's insane to think about how much your parents must have spent on this hobby. And it made me really appreciate it more. I mean, back in the day, we had easier ways to access games and helped kind of get in between the crazy spending of gaming, right? And that was Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and all those rental sites. I mean, even GameFly at a time was crazy. I mean, looking back, GameFly was about $20 to $30, so it's just, that's something you got to think about, right? But not everyone went to it. It was just more like a chance to rent out a game. It was back when Netflix first started, but Blockbuster today was always the go-to, where you would go on a Friday, rent out the new game, have it for 3 to 5 days, and then either figure out if you want to buy the game, or if you were crazy like me, you spent every waking hour trying to beat that game before you had to return it. This way you got the best bang for your buck, if you will. This way you didn't have to drop that $50 to $60 on a brand new game. And that's what I did. I mean, I don't remember. I think you could rent systems, and that was also a cool thing to do. I really miss Blockbuster. I really do. It's sad that the way we went in society to streaming, and I don't think we're in a better place, you know? It's hard to say. But who knows? It right now, you have to survive on between Steam's refund policy and deep discounts from Fanatical and other companies, right? And that's where you have to do. And right now, it feels like the industry is more toying with our nostalgia and trying to bait us into buying these games for $80. I mean, look at the way that Nintendo is doing it with all the new Nintendo games. $70 for 2 games that came out, what, 10 to 15 years ago? Really? It's disheartening. And at some point, it's going to burst, and for right now, it's not. I mean, what can you do as a gamer now? That's something I feel like I should talk to people about, and that's something I'm going to do. I mean, right now, if you can't afford it, prioritize indies, right? Silksong, Hades 2. These games are actually better than some of the AAA slop that we see today, and you know what? For the price that they are, $20, $30. I mean, even Clair Obscur was only $50. It's where it's at. Go look at the indie games. Go watch your favorite streamers play games to find out if the games are for you, versus looking at an IGN score or anything like that. Just see how the game plays. Embrace free to play, but cautiously. I mean, there's Fortnite, Warframe, Path of Exile, etc., that end up like over time costing you more in the long run, but I feel like you have more of a better experience for it. I mean, you could cancel your subscriptions. It's really what you feel you should do. I'm not going to... There are certain things that I would hope that people do, but it's up to you. You could support your AAA. You could support that. It's whatever you want. Me, I used to do Game Pass. I'm not doing it anymore. It's too much. I have my PlayStation Plus still for another year, and I'll just go with that, and then every now and then find a game on Fanatical or find a bundle and go with that. And that's why a lot of people are playing older games, because one, they feel more fun and more rewarding, and two, it's what they can afford. Right now, the future of gaming is not as bleak as I make it out to be. I promise. It is getting worse before it gets better, but that's only in the AAA sphere. Right now, we're probably going to head for a potential crash in the next 3 to 5 years, right? But that being said, there's an indie renaissance going on. New gaming is coming out with cloud gaming, and new companies are propping up out of nowhere, and it's worth it. This is still a hobby that I will do until the day I die. And I hope one day it gets to that point where the younger generation gets a chance to really embrace and have fun like I did. So, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for tuning in. This was hard to do. There's a lot of mistakes and everything like that, but you work from it. I'll keep going and growing as a creator, and we'll go from there. All right, that's where we're going to end it today. Thank you for watching, Redeemers. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the squad. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss a drop. I mean, this is YouTube. You should know that by now. Come on, people. If you got tips, tricks, suggestions, just drop them in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you want to keep the party going, follow me on Instagram and X. I'm going to be streaming over on Kick and Rumble and YouTube, so follow me there. I'll leave the links in the description below. So until next time, stay sharp, stay savage, and keep gaming and keep going, man. Every day, just another day, but just have fun with it. Take care.
Goodbye.